Hey everybody, welcome back to our role-playing community career in Kerbal Space Program. I hope you're having a great day today. So I did a little hopper. I made a little hopper craft, I'll show you. But it allowed me to hop over to a little place, get a little bit of extra science, and unlock stability. So we've got stability, it's there, and I've already unlocked the Presmat barometer, the small inline reaction wheel, and this small nose cone here. And that has left me with the ability to do our first real RPO contract today. But before we do that, I want to show you the little hopper thing and also see if there's any other contracts I could do just to get a little extra for money, because I'm still hamstringed by the 30-part restriction. I want to lift that as soon as I can. So we have a testing the heat shield here, 6.25 over in flight over Kerbin. This is going to pay me quite a bit of cash. The problem here is that I need to have an altitude of 47,000 and 56,000, and I need to be traveling very fast. So I think we're going to put that to the test today in our RPO contract that we have. I think we're probably going to have to put that to the test. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this, and that gives me 2 contracts max because I've already unlocked the reach the upper atmosphere contract as well. We're definitely going to hit that one today too. So first off, let me show you the little hopper. All right, so here's my little hopper thing. It's very simple. It's got a very low thrust to weight ratio, but it's enough to get us moving. And I'm gonna go ahead and start the radiation scanner, the temperature scanner, the telemetry. Yeah, turn all that on just in case I don't have it. And then I'm gonna get ready to hit the camera. And then we also have the Presmat barometer now, so we can go ahead and get all the data we want from the landing pad if we want to as well. I mean, we can hit it, but I don't think we necessarily need to sit here. I can always do this over time too. The goal though today, hopefully, is to unlock basic science so that I can really get moving on that. The other goal I have, if I don't do basic science, which is 45 science worth, then it's just to get general rocketry so that I can start actually doing good orbital contracts for RPOs. So we're gonna hit this button now. And I closed my camera, didn't I? Sure did. Let's go this way this time. Yeah. So again, not very good thrust to weight ratio, but it has enough to do the job. Go just a little bit easier with the legs in, I guess, maybe. If I go this direction, we'll be pretty firmly in those grasslands over there, and that's gonna let me get, it's gonna let me get the get some science in a new biome and stuff too. Can take a look really quick and keep an eye on the micro goo, and then also I think if I try to transmit right now, it will probably, yeah, there's no science with that. Never mind. Let me check Kerbalism really quick here. We're doing atmospheric data. We're transmitting that, so that's good. I also used this craft to get the parachute done, the parachute contract done. This thing is very unstable right now. It's all squirrely, man. It doesn't have the thrust to weight ratio necessary to really go. It's got just enough to be. It's just enough to be useful. Is basically what this is. Kind of reminds me a little bit of myself. Anyway, I was able to get within the range when I was doing the hopping. I was able to get within that very narrow altitude and speed range with this thing, and we're all good now. So I'm gonna head that direction, and we'll let this thing burn the rest of the way here. It's not quite gonna be high over the grasslands yet, but this is gonna be enough to get us a ton of science, hopefully. So here we go, flying over grasslands. Here we go. So we have a whole new biome now, and I should be able to. I thought I could probably goo this, but I guess I can't goo this. Let's go ahead and get our legs extended. Yeah, apparently we already have. Oh, it's just flying, right? The goo's not biome specific. Got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy this before I lose signal. Now, we get far enough away from the KSC, we're gonna lose signal over the horizon, right? So we wanna make sure we don't do that. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and toggle the info for this parachute, and let's get it to deploy a little bit higher than that. How about we deploy you around, let's say, 3K? The reason for that is because by default, stock KSP does not tell you the distance to the ground. It tells you the distance to sea level. If we're up in the mountains and stuff, well, we might be landing at like 2,000 or 3,000 meters, and our parachute might not open. So I don't think we're going to the mountains necessarily, but I mean, there's clouds below us, I can't really tell. But I'm pretty confident that we're not going to sea level. I think we're up higher now. So we can scan this, start transmitting that data back if we can. And it says we get partial storage on that because we don't have a whole lot of hard drive space. I am going to need a lot of hard drive space for today's RPO mission. Definitely going to need that. So I have to come prepared with lots of hard drive space, which is going to eat into our Delta V a little bit, which might be a good thing because today's mission is going to space, like actual space, and well, we're going to hopefully get a whole bunch of science doing it, and we're going to build up some heat as well. So how I'm going to do this for RPO experiments or for RPO missions in general is I'm going to give everybody a brief synopsis of what the mission is about, who it's for, what their goals are, etc. We're going to try to like sort of lay this in so that everybody kind of understands what the mission is and what the industry is doing. And remember, this is a role-playing series, so some of the things we say may not really make sense to people who are just playing KSP and you're just like, that doesn't matter, or like, I don't understand. But for the role play and ultimately for our backstory and our stories as we proceed, it will matter a great deal because a lot of the stuff and the knowledge that these RPOs get will give them precedence for future missions and allow them to get discounts because they understand things already. They don't need to rely on me. RPOs do not have to share their data with me. So today we are going to be harvesting all the science ourselves as well, but there may be quite a few missions where I launch something up with an experiment and then just do not run it because the RPO themselves are getting the data, not me. And if I run it, then I actually get the science. Again, there's more details, all the stuff in the handbook, which is in the description of every video. And if you want to participate in that, you can. We are going to be falling at 6 meters per second, which is very slow, but it's giving us time to do the experiments. We have connections still, and pretty sure things like telemetry and stuff are, well, they're all transmitting, right? Yeah. I think we're transmitting. Can't really tell. It says 0 available, so I think we're transmitting as fast as we're collecting. Yeah, because our hard drive is full, so. Oh yeah, so this is still running, and you know we need to give it as much time as possible. So, you know, you might think, wow, he's just like floating there. Don't worry, I'm gonna speed you guys ahead right now. But floating for long periods of time is a great way to get as much science as possible because the experiments take a while to run. In this case, the Presmat barometer requires over 22 minutes properly fully assess the atmospheric pressure in this region, which is also something that I am going to be donating to the National Weather Service so that we can see that kind of stuff. So I will be right back. I like to do my civic duty. Good companies are companies with morals, right? I'll see you guys in a second. All right, and we're landing, and we're landed, and we're landed, and we're landed. There we go. And somehow we still have a connection, which is very bizarre. Somehow we have a connection like through the ground or something. Like maybe right over there. I don't know. No, it's definitely very far away. I'm not sure how we still have it through the ground, but we do. And I think it's still, I mean, it's still transmitting, still running maybe. If I can go ahead and do this work. Nope, it just counts as landed. So it's not biome specific. I just keep forgetting that apparently. And this is still running too. So there's really no incentive for me to collect this right now since we are gathering data, actively gathering data. So I'm gonna let this run until it dies and then I'm going to collect it. So I'll see you guys whenever the battery dies. That's when I will see you guys. It's gonna sit here for quite a while, looks like. And you know, I don't necessarily need to sit here. We could just let it go. And I can show you a nifty feature that goes with Kerbalism. If I decide not to recover the vessel right now, but instead just let it sit here, we can go to the Space Center. Okay, so we're back at the Space Center. The interface is a little bit clunky here. I'm not entirely sure why it's all, well, like this, but you can see the various different modules that are here and stuff. And we are currently and actively transmitting data right now. So we do not have to have any crafts like actively loaded. Stuff like this gets simulated in the background, which is great. I know I covered this in the last video, but I just wanted to reiterate that you do not need to sit there with Kerbalism. It's kind of interesting how it just sort of does things on its own. It knows what experiments are on there and it simulates them in the background, albeit with a slightly clunky interface every once in a while. But it is what it is. So as I said here, we're gathering more science. And I would really like to get to this. Specifically, like the ant would be a good thing to have right now. And mostly I want this thumper for sure. And then once we have the Reliant and the thumper, I think we can just get to orbit pretty quickly here. This has a gimbal, does it not? Actually, I think the Reliant doesn't have the gimbal. The Swivel has a gimbal, which is something I already have right here, the Swivel. This one has a gimbal. Yeah, 4.5 degrees. Probably want to grab that then. So I think I will. We have the shrimp, and then I suppose this fuel tank is probably something I'll just, you know what, just buy the whole node, whatever. Now, I told you guys that I wasn't going to have any RPO contracts until day 3 live on the air, but I've made it far enough in the first video here where I think maybe we can take one, as long as it's, you know, if it's something really progressing us forward, I'd really like to try it. And this one I'm a little bit nervous about, to be honest, just because they're going into a kind of a dangerous situation, but we'll see if we can play it out. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and open up a craft that I've kind of tried to build a little bit. This is called the Noob. And essentially, the Noob was going to be my starter package for getting to orbit really, really cheaply. But unfortunately, just go compact here so I don't have to like hide this stuff anymore for you guys. So unfortunately though, the Noob is not capable of reaching orbit when you add a ton of science gear to it. So it gets a lot more expensive to try and get it to orbit after that if you don't put science gear on it. Thankfully today, we are not going to need many solar panels. I don't believe we're gonna need the reaction wheel necessarily either, although it's gonna help me control the dang thing, and that's probably a good thing for what we're doing. So we're gonna take the solar off, and instead of the solar, I think we'll just instead duplicate the battery, because this craft is not going to orbit today. This craft is going straight up in the air, and we have a partnership with New Eden Laboratories and Extraterrestrial Life Department, who would like to analyze all sorts of things related to the atmosphere, radiation in the atmosphere, pressure, and ultimately they're looking for organic samples. What happens to organic matter? One of these has like food supplies type things, and they want to know and start understanding the basics of what they're going to need for generating and sustaining life support in space and in intense environments. We're also looking for some sort of like acceleration readings and stuff, which is why we're kind of bringing everything. I don't have all the equipment, but we're bringing kind of everything. And they would like me to get it into a pretty hot environment. We're definitely going to get hot today, okay? We're definitely going to get hot. We're definitely going to experience some G-forces, okay? One of the things I need to do, though, is not have duplicate experiments. I need to make sure all these are just one. I don't need two of them. New Eden and the Extraterrestrial Life Department, they have 2 tags. I'll probably put 2 tags on this, even though this craft is not going to stay anywhere. We're going to call this, I'm going to leave it as Noob, but we're going to put their tags on there. And I don't really think there's a reason to, like, you know, what order they're in. So we're going to go ETLD and also NEL. And again, I don't think it matters what order they're in. This craft isn't going to stay in the air anyway. So we have the Noob, which is their little satellites being launched on the Noob. And there's not really much to tell other than that. We're going to go straight up in the air, and these 2 thrusters here are going to bring us up there. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can do to help protect this. We do have a decoupler right here and a heat shield underneath the batteries, which is very good. And let me just make sure I don't have... Okay, good. I didn't copy the heat shield. Nice. So, yeah, this thing here is a little bit finicky. You got to really get it in the perfect spot, otherwise it won't cooperate with you. Come on. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Take this off and do this. It's a really weird part. I don't know if I like restock that much, to be honest. We've already started with it, so I'm going to keep it, but because the parts do look cool, but there's certain things like that right there that kind of just happen. And I think tweak scale might have something to do with that too, because that decoupler is tweak scale down. So okay, so yeah, this is it. And now we have 28 more, well, we have 28 parts, so I have enough room for my camera, which is in a spot that I can never find. And we're gonna put the camera right down here. We're gonna take some really cool pictures while we're up there too. We gotta do that, you know, you gotta have the pictures. So we have 3 goo experiments. Now, I've already done the goo in low atmosphere, as you guys saw, but they want to do it their own self too. They want their own stuff done here. They don't want my data. They're looking for something specific. So we have the analysis we need to do is microgoo in low, microgoo in high, and microgoo in low orbit, or in this case, low space, because we're not actually going to orbit. Initially, the contract called for being in orbit for 3 days and then bringing it back. I advised them that my tech is probably not capable of that right now. I'm pretty sure I could get to orbit, but getting back safely at orbital speeds right now is going to be real difficult to do with all the different aerodynamic pressure, and re-entry is very deadly for us right now. So it's I advise them against that. So we're going to play it a little safer and just go straight up pretty much. So that's our staging. That's everything there. And this is the noob. So let's go ahead and launch this and see what we can do. All right, we're on the launch pad. And you saw that really briefly there. We're getting telemetry data from that other probe. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so one thing we need to make sure we're doing is having all these experiments running. So radiation is going to be on all the time, so is temperature, and so is telemetry. We're also going to get the pressure, the atmospheric pressure scanner running all the time, because I've never ran this before down here. So here it is. You get 5 science for that, so that's pretty good. And we're also going to want this camera to be pinned right here too, because I got to use it. It's awesome. So the core of their mission objectives, though, for this RPO is these micro goo canisters, or rather these materials, mystery goo. They're organic materials, right? So we're going to get one that's going to go in low Kerbal atmosphere. Now, granted, I've already done this, so I'm not going to get any science for this, but this is their experiments, and they need the data. So again, we're going to kind of role play this. We need one for upper atmosphere, and then this one is for the for space. And I told them I can get them 6 minutes or so in space-ish. I'm kind of hoping to get them 6 minutes in space today, so we'll see how it goes. I think this is the extent of all of the experiments on board. So SAS on, thrusters all the way up, make sure, and go. We are going up, up, and away. We're going to start the materials goo, or the materials experiment for low atmosphere now, which again, we're not getting any science for, but they are. So that's important. We're also going to be analyzing atmospheric pressure all the way up and all the way down, provided, of course, we are actually in the atmosphere. And then I think we're going to get the camera. Not low flight, but I'm going to take a picture of high flight too. Although I don't really want to, we don't really have that high of transmission speed, so I don't really want to fill the hard drive, right? So maybe I'll wait for the camera. I'll take one shot in space. And you know what? I think also I'm going to tilt this craft just a little bit this direction, because I'd like to go out towards space. Be nice. Go ahead and stop this one and start this one. We're now in the upper atmosphere. And we're just going to angle it a little bit this direction, just so we hopefully will come back down over water. If we don't, then we don't. But I have yet to be in water. Like, I haven't done any experiments in water yet. So if I can get this thing to splash down and get a little extra science out of it while the batteries are still alive, I'll take it. We have 24 minutes worth of battery power, what it looks like. Although it does seem to be kind of holding its own here, so I think this engine might have an alternator in it, which is kind of nifty. I didn't know that. I don't know. We only have about 4.5 or 5 minutes worth of burn time left in this reliability rating for the craft, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's say right around what, 1250 or so. Kill it. Let's just kill it there. It's fine. Okay, so I don't know what my apoapsis is, right? But we're going to stop this and start this. I don't know what the apoapsis is, okay? And again, I'm role-playing this just like they are. So there's no way I would really know that right now. I don't really have the technological capability. Oh, look at this. Capabilities, I was going to say. But this is the money shot right here. So we're already running the experiments that we promised. But we got, 6 minutes till re-entry. So you're going to get your 6 minutes in space. There you go. But you know what? While we're up here, camera time, baby. Now, this isn't just a scan target and send data type camera, okay? That's not what this is. No. This is a working camera. So let's go ahead and hit the button. And ta-da! Big old camera window. And now we're just going to have to rotate this craft and try to figure out what we're looking at here. So let's get about there. And then we're going to go, like, I want the money shot. Give me the money shot. Gotta figure out how to get it. There it is. Boom. Huh? Come on. That's a picture right there. Huh? And now we can also, if we want to, zoom in. This little toggle bar at the top, we can zoom right in. And this is where those 8K textures will come into play later on, huh? Everyone's like, why do you got 8K textures? Because I can zoom with this camera, man. Come on. It's going to be great. I don't know what this button does. I guess now is the best time for science than ever, right? Oh, hello. Oh, good. Follow me. Target cam. We can target things and have it follow. Oh, that's awesome. If I click this, photo has been saved to your screenshots folder. Oh, good. Oh, we're gonna save pictures. You know, we're saving pictures. They're going to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, get in there. I'm gonna be saving all these pictures. I'm taking pictures of everything, man. I just hope that this camera doesn't like mess up my saves and stuff, because it is technically not fully compatible with Kerbalism, and it's always nerve-wracking when you have something really cool installed in your game that isn't fully compatible. Things like D-Magic, Orbital Science, like D-Magic's mod isn't even officially updated past 1.8. So it's like, it doesn't work. I mean, it does. It seems to work. There's just certain components that don't work. Certain like interface stuff that isn't the same or isn't compatible. What is it? Oh, look at this. We're in the belt. We're in the radiation belt right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go more into depth on this once we have more RPO knowledge of it, because I don't want to spoil it, right? Everyone's trying to role play things. But if you take a look at the handbook, link in the description, by the way, if you want to join our campaign, the handbook will walk you through sort of what these belts are. It does not give you specific numbers on how far out they are, although I guess the way this works, it'll be public knowledge that we encountered some radiation up around 178 or so, I guess, somewhere around there. We are currently taking over 0.1 rad per hour. Is what I saw there as we were coming down. This does scale too, by the way. It's not a fixed amount. So if you're on the edge of it, you're going to take less. And if you're in the middle of it, you'll take the most, that kind of thing. We're definitely on our way back down now. And this is the part where I'm very nervous because re-entry, man. One thing I need to make sure we do is arm this parachute correctly. So what we're going to do is open up the parachute window. And we're going to go for altitude. And the pre-deployment, I'm going to have this be lower. Like, I feel like we're probably going to need this to be, like, let's go 5,500 meters on this. And then we'll try and do a full deployment around, let's say, 2,500. And we'll go ahead, and once we have those settings, just like that, we'll arm this, which is by arming it, we just hit deploy. And now the parachute is armed. So how that works is, if I lose connection, the parachute will still do what it's supposed to do, provided the probe is powered on to tell it what to do. So we do need to maintain power, but we don't need to maintain connection anymore, which usually wouldn't be a big deal, except there are no satellites. So, I mean, we're going to lose connection on this. I'm pretty sure we will. Although we are fairly close to KSC. We did angle ourselves a little bit this direction, and then, you know, of course, Kerbin is turning and rotating underneath us. So maybe we won't lose connection after all. I don't know. Going through atmospheric forces like this, though, going through the plasma, you almost always lose connection. And we did turn that feature on, so I suspect we're going to lose connection, but I don't know that we are. We're sciencing it, you know? We're just going to science the whole damn thing. So our first official contract is also under very uncertain circumstances. Speaking of uncertain circumstances, the speed that we're coming in, this entry angle is pretty bad. You would not want to do this. Which is why we're using the remainder of this fuel to slow ourselves down once we get a little bit closer to the atmosphere, which I think I'm going to go ahead and speed that up. Bring us down here a little bit closer. And we are getting very fast. It is not healthy. This is not a healthy speed. Not healthy. I'm going to turn our engine back on here and see if we can't slow ourselves down just a little bit more. Or at least prevent ourselves from going faster. Yeah, let's slow descent here, okay? I'm really nervous. I don't like being nervous, okay? Don't like it at all. I may actually go ahead and just decouple the engine and stuff. We don't need that stuff. We do have the heat shield for this very reason, so let's burn off all this fuel. As much as we can, anyway. Here we go, and good. Let's go ahead and decouple this. And if we're going to burn up, it's going to be that heat shield right there. So we got 20 ablative. And hopefully that's enough to keep us from burning up here. And it looked like it's pretty nice. That slowdown was very healthy. Okay, good. Whew, I feel very good about that. I feel so good about that. Okay, so now is the parachute test. Never tested it before. It is deemed safe for our altitude. So we should be good to go here. Let's go ahead and turn that deployment up to about 86. Pre-deployment is up. So we are safely landing. Yay! Oh, so good. Guys, so good. So good. Okay, excellent. That's very nice. That's success? I think that's success right there, huh? Successful mission. I got you all your space stuff. I got your space time. I got your goo experiments in various different biomes. We got lots of radiation stuff that we did, and we're about to land in the water, which means with much time, actually. We have 3 hours of power, which I think we're still transmitting, right? We have to be. No, transmission rate is none. Why are we not transmitting right now, I wonder? We're not transmitting, okay, because the antenna for our transmissions was on the stage that I ejected. Oh, God, I feel like that guy in Titanic right now. You know who I'm talking about? It's like, I put the diamond in the coat. I put the coat on her. Well, we're not going to transmit any more data, unfortunately, which does mean that we're also not going to be able to collect any more data in the water. Bummer. All this time, we're going to be avoiding the water. This is going to be a theme we have here in this. We just didn't bring enough storage space. Probably needs more hard drives. But you know what? Like, I thought 2 megabytes would be enough, but then those pictures, man, that picture is almost half that storage space all by itself, and that's very, very heavy. But we do have the stuff on board, right? We have 2 megabytes worth of data. So when we recover the craft, we will get the rest of that science, and that's going to be quite a bit. We're up to 21 science now. That is enough to get orbital rocketry. It is not enough to get basic science, which has a lot of science experiments, a lot of stuff that's going to help us get more science. But honestly, I think I would take orbital rocketry before I unlock basic science, just because for a couple of reasons. I think there's quite a few RPOs that want to use some of that equipment in basic science, and I also think there's some people that want to get themselves qualified for patents on some of that stuff. So I will only purchase from the tech nodes the things that I need to keep us moving and progressing forward, and to allow you guys as companies to be able to do more things. So if it's a science experiment and it's there, I may need that to progress our science, but I do want to allow anyway you guys to have the opportunity to, like, you know, investigate that and give you guys the opportunity to build yourself up with the knowledge necessary to patent things if you're interested in doing that. And thankfully, goo does not require storage, so that's fun. Actually, it would be nice to know that because, well, never mind, we lost connection. I was gonna say, we could run the goo experiment that didn't take any data, right? Like there's one goo for lower atmosphere that I technically did not use. But no, role play this, okay? Just because it's not used yet doesn't mean you can use it in the water. Okay, so soft landings, nice, easy, slow landings, and I can't do anything with this craft anymore. WASD does nothing, right? Because I've lost connection, so it's all up to this. All right, safe landings in the water, and we touch down, and we're going to go ahead and recover things. So we've got 8.1 credits, and a lot of this stuff I am going to skip ahead for time every once in a while. It's just the thing, we want to make the videos as concise as we can, even though they're going to be quite long. We got a lot of science for this. We're up to 42 science, and we're able to do quite a bit of stuff there. Now, the RPO has paid me money, right? That mission cost me something. And the RPOs have paid me money at an agreed upon price. So what we're doing here, again, this is a role-playing experience. So I don't want people to think you're cheating, because this is part of this gig. These guys are going to be able to make money on their crafts. They're going to be able to pay me to launch their crafts. That's part of what my company does. So we're going to be spending quite a bit of time after missions in the cheat screen, if you will, the console, which is where I've spent the better part of the last 2 months trying to stability test all these mods working together. We'll see how well that worked. There's things I miss. In any case, we are going to go into the cheats menu, and I'm going to add 20,000 funds to my game. So this is 186, and I get to hit this button now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That is the $20,000 that I was paid for the mission. Now, I also have to pay taxes on that $20,000, and unfortunately, I cannot bring the money down by less than $1,000. So I will just simply wait until I've earned $100K, and then I will reduce it. Or I guess it'd be $40K, right? Because 5% is $50K. Yeah. I'll wait till I've earned $50K, and then I'll reduce it by $1,000, and that will be how I pay my taxes, because all RPOs have to pay their taxes. How I told everybody they didn't have to do it in the first year, though, so maybe I'm getting away with that too. I think that's probably fair, but I'll let the RPOs be the judge. It's fine. All right, so we're at 206,000. That is still not enough to unlock the vehicle assembly building, unfortunately. So we're going to have to advance ourselves more and get more contracts. And I would love to get aviation. Love it. Because then I can fly around Kerbin to all these different biomes, get all this different science everywhere. And it unlocks the Mark 1 cockpit, which is huge for planes and people who want to do planes. And this thing is going to let me, along with the wheels, actually make a little dune buggy and drive around. Although based on last video, I don't think we actually have biomes around Kerbin. We can try this, though. Let's go into Kerbalism's menu here. Science Archive. And what we can do is we can try to find the different biomes and stuff that are available. So we'll want to go to something that's biome specific. I think temperature scan is. Yep. Surface biomes. Yep. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to expand this and see all the different situations in which this experiment is eligible for science, and then we can see how much we've already gotten. So in this case, research and development right here, flying low, we have science points received or retrieved in R&D, 0.3 here. In flight, we still have another 0.2, and this is still being transmitted. Yeah, it's still happening. Hi, Untitled Probe. I don't know if it's still collecting science, though. I should probably check that. Are you still collecting it? Because you're still transmitting it, so your battery still has 51 minutes left in it. Nice. I think you are. You're still transmitting 3 files at 2.2 kilobytes. So keep going, little buddy. If it's done collecting science, which I don't actually know if I can tell that. Yeah, it's still running an atmospheric pressure scanner for another 3 minutes. Yeah, but once this is done, Once this 3-minute experiment is done, then I can just collect this. I don't have to wait for the transmissions anymore. I'll just collect it. So we could actually just speed up time really quick here and let this experiment complete. And then once it completes, then we have the full value science. And it says it's waiting to transmit, right? So a lot of these things are running. Actually, the temperature scan. Oh, I get it. Okay, so the storage is full, right? Storage space is full. And so only one experiment can run at a time because it's basically running at the speed it takes for transmission. So these 2 radiation scans, I wonder if these are going to... Yeah, this right here. I wonder if this is going to run once the temperature and stuff is done. This is a good thing to science. We'll just speed time up ahead a little bit here and just see what happens. Yeah. So once this is done, now this one can go because we can only collect data as fast as we can transmit it. So the data, it says there's 11% available, but we can only accept data as fast as we transmit it. And I think the radiation scan, yeah, if we take a look at the radiation scan experiment, which we can totally do from here, by the way, we can actually start and stop it here too. It's not just a monitoring tool. You have full control over these things as if the craft is loaded. It's very cool. So you can check out the experiment info. And yeah, so this experiment, it transmits at 1.01 kilobytes per second. That is slower than our transmission speed. So because of that, we're actually able to transmit now faster than we're taking data in. And as a result, our hard drive is actually able to empty. So all of these are able to transmit now, which is very good for us. So I'll just go ahead and zoom my time ahead a little bit more. There we go. And you can see these experiments are all transmitting in. As long as none of them are still running, we can collect the craft. And it looks to me like pretty much everything is done. We have the full value for everything there. So we'll go ahead and recover this. That'll bring all the science in that we would have had when we're transmitting it. And now we're up to 52.4 science. So that is fantastic. So now we could do basic science. I could grab this and allow for, like getting another slot for the Geiger counter. No, sorry, this is an additional experiment slot for probes. It just has that icon, but this is for probes. And then this is a mystery goo capacity upgrade. This will give us 1 extra storage sample slot. What that would mean, I would assume, is that we could now collect samples from multiple biomes within 1 tube. It would be the same sample size, so it'd probably be like you either get all the science from 1 biome or like half and half, or whatever. Like if you're doing something with mystery goo right now, and let's say you're 70% done, but you shift into another biome, that goo experiment is stopping. You're not getting anything on that. Because it only has 1 slot. It can only do 1 biome at a time. This would enable it to use that extra 30% that it has left on a new place. So I think that's what that is. I'm just speculating there. And then we also have the Science Junior. That's pretty good to get to. It's basically the same thing as a microgoo experiment, but it's in line, so you can put it within the craft. You don't have to radially attach it. This is an experiment unit, storage unit, and this allows you, I believe, to place physical experiments into storage, and then you can reload things. I think this is a jetpack item, so you carry this. Kerbals carry this on their backs. It's kind of interesting. Surface scanning modules in there too, and a lot of the stuff, by the way, I'm going to go through the tech tree stuff because RPOs need to know what tech is ahead if they want to plan for various different patents and stuff. They need to know this kind of stuff. So I do spend some time in this series looking at technologies that are upcoming so that people know what we're going to do. And that's a very good practice to get into. But again, this series is for the viewers, absolutely, but it's more catered towards, and the content as I'm presenting it is more catered towards the RPOs that are participating. We have the advanced stabilization here. I would like to get this. Nope. This aviation. And this is, I would like to get, but if I don't need it though. If I don't have the whole biomes to drive around in, then I don't need this. Then I can go right for general rocketry, which is probably the better one to do anyway. And then we have general construction that has the magnetometer boom. So more science there too. Nice. I think I will do general rocketry because this definitely gets me to orbit. So And then advanced rocketry from there. So why don't I put a pin in basic science, since mostly what this gets me, I thought it gave me experiments, but it doesn't look like it does. It does give me the gold tanks, gold ore, and gold holding tanks. Notice the cost, right? The gold holding tank, to unlock the tank, to be able to use this, it's $160,000. Okay? Those of you who are looking to patent it, bring me your millions. Okay? So these are expensive. I'm not unlocking them. I don't need them. Maybe one of you do. So keep that in mind. And I think probably the most hottest item that's going to be up for grabs later, which I think I am going to go for general rocketry. I'm going to confirm that. But the hottest item that's probably going to be up for grabs first, I think patent-wise, probably are these high gain antennas. They tend to be able to get a little bit extra distance and stuff. If you're looking for bandwidth, though, you want the HG5. The HG5 is an antenna that has great range. This is probably the best antenna we have early game for quite some time, even probably into mid game a little bit. This is a very good antenna. It will last quite a while. It says it's a short range dual purpose communications antenna, but it has a 20 millimeter range. So this is capable of reaching all the way out to Mimis and a little bit beyond. But the thing that separates this one and makes it different from the other antennas that are in the game so far is its transmission speed is 9.66 kilobytes per second. Now that's not fast by any means. There definitely are faster ones. And it doesn't take that long to get to the faster ones, but that one's going to be a pretty hot early game antenna, I think. Because a lot of these, you'll see that the range is okay, 2 million meters. Yeah, and it's expensive too. It's not the cheapest one. So we start getting into precision engineering, which is down in this tree as well. In this way, when you get to precision engineering, you get a whole bunch of cool stuff, including explosives. Yeah. But you also get other interesting types of like antenna feeds. For example, here, this one can only transmit at 247 bytes. If you go down to like the RA08 relay antenna, this one's a little bit more advanced. It can transmit at 17 kilobytes per second. And as we continue on, we're going to see antennas that get better and better as we go. It's not like the HG5 is the best or anything, but I think in the early game, it's going to be a pretty good one, and people will probably want that one. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I'm going to do for this one. I've got 32.4 science. I can't unlock anything with 34 science, but I do have rocket parts that are capable of doing a lot more stuff now. I have access to the thumper. I'm going to have access to this fuel tank because I think we pretty much need it. And I probably will grab the Reliant, even though I don't know if it's really the better one. I might take the swivel instead. We'll see. I think I definitely want the ant. And because it's for ants, of course. No, for the size of our probes, though, like this is pretty efficient, and it can do some good stuff here. So, and it's very cheap. Like it's really, really small. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So we did an RPO contract today. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm going to continue negotiating with you guys. Submit your contracts. All right, get them in there. And I wanted to also, real quick, just show you guys the flags that I have currently. If you have a flag for your RPO, please send it in. You know where to go. It's in the Only Flags channel. Definitely. But you can see we've obviously got mine. And that one should have already been there. Not sure why it wasn't. Apparently this is like sunk in by default or something there. But yeah, we have got one for FF right here. This is your flag. We got the bank flag right there. We got KTC. We've got KSRD here. And these are all their tags, right? Those are not the name of their companies. This is the tags. And we're going to be referring to you guys in game, at least I am, by your tags, because it's a lot easier to do because they're going to be very visual to me. KTT is here, PMG right there, PMG. And then as we go down, I thought there was one more, but yeah, TCH right here. There you go. I thought for sure I had another one in here. I don't want to miss anybody. I'm fairly confident that I had one more in here. Well, if you see it, then you know I missed you, and I'm sorry. I get distracted sometimes here. Oh, right here. ETLD right there. And then CMTR right there. See, I missed a couple of you guys. I think that's it. Yeah. So far, I think that's the flags we have. So if you have a flag, remember to submit it. And we'll see you guys at the live stream. I might record one more video. I don't know. We'll see. But the live stream for this, first live stream is Wednesday at noon. Okay? Wednesday at... I might make it 11. Can I make it 11? Let's make it 11. Wednesday at 11. Which you'll already know that because it'll be in the pinned comment down below. I'll have it linked so you can get it added to your schedules and stuff. So take it easy, guys. Love your faces. Thank you for watching. Give the videos thumbs ups and likes and comments and all that stuff. Comments are actually worth something now, aren't they? Take it easy. Bye-bye.